Hi guys, this is Namcraft and welcome to another season of Starcraft English Comments. We're going to continue on with the PSL series. This is going to be an entirely new English commentary produced by me. We're going to be having the quarterfinals of round 2, and the players going to be playing today in the first quarterfinal is Barracks and Royal. So, I thought that TvT would be boring, of course this usually is, but the previous game was very, very nice with a lot of actions, intensities going all over the field of Vermeer. Of course, we did not have battle cruisers, so that was the only kind of thinking in retrospect, the only thing that actually could have been improved from that game. But let's hope for more. The next game is going to be on the map Radeon here. This is the only map that is going to be fielded in ASL Season 18, so we're very, very happy to see it appear, because this is going to be a very balanced map across the various races. Of course, TvT, there's not much to talk about, so I will not talk about it. But yeah, before the game gets heated up, let's just review some of the stats here. So we do have, for example, the best broodwar players this week, or today actually. I just picked up the stats today, and of course we do have Royal at the bottom of that list at 1291, so that's very, very good. Barracks is not far behind. Barracks is in the top 20. I actually don't have the stats for the players playing today, so you just have to kind of take my words on it. But yeah, before the game gets heated up, let me read some advertising. So my name is Namcraft, and I'm very, very happy to provide these kind of insanely fast English commentaries of tournaments such as ASL, KCM, PSL, and so forth. And these videos, they will have some ads to support me, but they would only have ads in the beginning of the set. And in these kind of TvT encounters, for example, you're going to be having some very nice experience, because out of 30-40 minutes game, you will only have ads one at a time. So that's going to be something that I hope you would enjoy. The other things that I'm trying my best to make your viewer as pleasurable as possible is going to be having a lot of links in the video description to actually guide you through the process so you are not spoiled. I don't cast the entire tournament day in the same video. This is not my style. I know that some of the casters do that, but my style is one video, one game, because I believe in the value of replayability. So after the game is over, right, it's gonna be very, very hard for you to refine that match. Of course, there's some places like Wikipedia where you can actually, view tournaments by game, and you can actually timestamp the actual match you want to look at, but that will require effort from, admins of those websites. Whereas if you want to watch a particular game, you just go to Namcraft channel, click on search, and type in the name of the two players, the name of the tournament, and that's it. You just type in Snow Bisu ASL, and you will find all of the games that Snow Bisu have played together in ASL in the entire history of Namcraft ASL casting. So that is something that I'm really, really proud to present to you. So I have over 1,500 videos, and each of those are mostly single game. So I have casted something like 1,500 games. So I hope you will enjoy that. So please use those search, functions. Please also use the playlist, because I organize everything by playlist, so you are not spoiled. There are playlists for each matchup, for each map, for each player, for each tournament. And just cycle through and use the links in the video description to move across. There's going to be a slight disorientation in the audio channels. For example, in this tournament, PSL, you will hear Korean a little bit more on one ear and English a little bit more on the other ear. If you're Korean, I hope you enjoy that. If you're learning Korean, or if you have a Korean girlfriend, I hope you enjoy that. And let's move on to other things. If you want to add friends with me on Facebook, please go ahead and do that. The link to do that is going to be in the video description, so that we can actually get connected when this channel get deleted, obliterated, crushed in the future, because they always do. Also, if you have Telegram, please go ahead and add the Telegram channel called broodwar forever. That's going to be the way for you to watch VODs without any kind of ads. Anyways, that was a long ad session. Let's move right back to this game. Of course, we still have an hour to go, because TvT, right, usually they last an hour. So I don't know how many games we will watch today. Maybe it might be just one quarterfinal or two. It might be all of the quarterfinals, and if that's going to be the case, then that's you are here for a long ride. So please be prepared. Anyways, we're going to be having Royal defending against a vulture run by Barracks. Barracks, the guy who won the first game. So I'm not so sure if this is best of 3 or not. I hope it's best of 3, because watching best of 5 for 4 different pair of players is a little bit intimidating. I actually don't have much time. I actually have to go and work at some point because I need money. I need to survive. and of Starcraft, watching and playing Starcraft and casting Starcraft doesn't provide me with food. It provides me with drinks. So thanks a lot for that. You're providing very, very nice drinks for me, and I'm actually getting some very, very good energy drinks from your money. Anyways, what's happening on this game now? Looks like Royo is going to be going for some Goliaths. He's built an army a couple of minutes ago. He's got double factory, whereas Barracks is going to be going for mass vultures, similar to the previous game. Yeah, it looks like Royo does has his own version of vulture, but he's going to be going for anti-raid technology very, very, very early on. A massive speed vultures coming up from Barracks. Going to try to strike at a moment's time here. We're going to be having triple factory army coming up. Excuse me, academy coming up for Barracks. You actually want to have get scanners at some point as well, you know, just to clear the mines or just to make sure his enemy is not going for raid. So of course, if your enemy is going for Goliaths, the chances that he's going for raid is very few, especially in the early stage of the game. We're going to be having armory now. So virtually, you know, similar builds, and TvT is all about learning the builds, I think, these days, and just going by the textbooks and kind of you know, scout, often scan many times, and just react accordingly, and just make sure your eyes and ears are always wide open, because a single moment where you lapse your concentration, you're going to be just paying it dearly, because, you know, drops could, you know, wreak havoc to your bases. Vulture run by, of course, in the earlier stage of the game, vulture run by is a bit more common. In the later parts of the game, vulture run by is not so important, but drop is so important, like I pointed out in the previous games. So anyways, looks like on Radeon you can take your third base kind of easy-ish, just like on Vermeer, but the choke here on Radeon is smaller than on Vermeer, so you can take it and hold it a little bit easier. It looks like we're going to be having Royo coming up for counter-attack here. Barracks has planted some mine at the 6 o'clock position. He want to actually, you know, stop his enemies from going for quick expansion. 2 Butchers going to turn run by, and he can take out maybe 1 SCVs, and that's it. And no more, I think. But yeah, anyways, this vulture's gonna try and go all the way inside the main, and that's just gonna drive all of the vultures from Royo back. It's gonna actually destroy the mine. Now that mine is still allowed to live, which means that actually he needs to waste 1 scan to take it out. Anyways, reinforcement from vultures from Barracks goes out in the middle of the map. Of course, vultures is gonna be what Barracks has more of, so he's gonna just try to make use of them as much as possible. Behind this, Royo has expanded towards the third base at the 330 position. He's gonna be having a nice mineral intake here, and looks like the third base for Barracks has come up as well. So both players have got about similar third base situations, and we're spawning the first tanks, and it's gonna be Barracks who makes them. Barracks is gonna try to secure his third base at this corridor with double tanks with siege. So these vultures gonna try to go in, and they will get attacked first on it. We need to return now, return right away. Very nice, losing 2 vultures, and now Royo, even though you know, he lost a couple of vultures, he's still ahead by about 16 supply. Actually, don't understand why in some cases one player is more, you know, ahead in supply than the other. Of course, there's gonna be the situation of, you know, just production queue, right? When you're counting at a moment where one player just got his production completely out of the factory, he's gonna be up about 10 supply or so. But you know, without that, I mean, is it that one player's got better macro than the other? And sometimes I think it's also possible that one player is gonna be prioritizing units, production units, and not SCVs or something like that, because sometimes you want to actually deliberately slow down your production for some other priorities like upgrades or SCVs or stuff like that. Anyways, we're going to be having SCVs getting transferred by both players. So this game, this second set has been absolutely boring so far. Both of the guys are not trading blows as much as we expect or we hope, and they're just gonna try to patrol their small sites, their, you know, their respective quadrants of the map. We're gonna be having a smaller siege position here on the left, a little bit forward. You need to actually scan that area because there's a lot of mines behind it that provides good vision for Royo. And it's going to be having Starport coming up for Barracks. I think Royo is doing the same thing here. And looks like for the timing, Royo is ready to take his 6th base. He's cleared out some of the mines there, but Barracks is not yet ready to take his 6th base. The 12 o'clock position and the 6 o'clock position is what we're looking at. Looks like a huge army is amassing near the border, near the DMZ zone by Royo. He's going to try to push. No, he's not going to push. It looks like at the last minute, Barracks is going to try to reinforce his area with his own version of the time. We're going to be having science facility coming up here, and more factories and more armory as well. So upgrades, of course, is going to be very key in this kind of situation. We're going to be having vultures going to try to go around. There's not a lot of openings. Of course, they're going to be trying to run here. There's only one tank that can cover. Vulture run right past everything. It's going to actually lay a lot of mines against the third base. It looks like scrambling to get back in position is going to be what Barracks is going to be going. SCV is going to be dying left and right. And Royo, if he wins this battle, he's going to be actually even up the score. He's going to be killing so many SCV. But so now they need to actually focus on the bottom side, not attack the tank. The tank is sieging, and that's a mistake. Don't siege here. You just explode to the vulture run by. Yeah, anyways, at least that that tank is, I think, is finally gonna get saved. So these vultures were wasted, but Royo after the attack is up by about 20 supply. Very good for him to clear all of those bases. And he need to actually take his 4th expansion now. You actually need to kind of remember to prioritize your economy after the battle is over, and not even after the battle is over. During the battle, you need to actually, you know, focus on your economy as well. And we're going to be having the 6th base need to go, the 4th base and the 6th expansion need to go up right now. I think Royo, he's got the money for it, but maybe I want to make sure that he's reinforced his army first, because if you build too many econ stuff and you don't have the army to kind of defend it, you might lose. Anyways, +1 weapons are done on Royo's tanks, of course. For Barracks is going to be very similar. I'm going to be having the 6 o'clock base going up now. What is going to be the next move? It looks like Barracks has built his science facility, so it's going to be building something with the starport. Is it going to be dropship or science vessels? I think at this stage in TvT is usually just dropship. No one makes vessels anymore in TvT, not that I've seen. But we're going to be having what now? This dropship going around. He's going to try to do one more nice drop against the 930 position. It's going to be a very, very nice open area. Can actually explore. There are no mines here on this left side, so I guess Barracks cannot do anything about it. He cannot see it, first of all. But it's going to try to lay a couple of siege position here to actually stop any kind of red advancing towards the 3rd base. We have a counter drop from Barracks. We have something, okay, some science, what is it, comsat section getting burned down, so that's a little bit unfortunate because Barracks is now temporarily down to just 2 scanners. Anyways, the drop is gonna land now. The drop lands and there's nothing here to defend. It's gonna be vultures. Yeah, it's gonna be a single vulture here to drive the SCVs back, and it's gonna be 3 vultures in the main. Actually, can need to surround that vulture with SCVs. This raid is going to try to come out and take out, that dropship, but maybe not even successfully. The vulture is going to try to go inside the main, but a very, very good supply depot, SimCity, to block it. And at the last minute, I think these vultures are going to get destroyed. So anyways, that was a small nuisance. I think that Barracks was able to inflict on his enemies. His dropship is going to return here. This dropship will lose his life. Royo is still ahead by about 25 to 30 supply, and he's got his 4 bases economy going up very, very nicely. Barracks, what has he been doing? I don't know. I mean, he's been building some forces, reinforcing the center. He's possibly got a raid or 2. Maybe he's started to build his own dropship now. But, in general, he's kind of a little bit more passive than Royo. And Royo, passivity actually did not really pay out in previous game. He was passively way too passive, too active for his own good in the previous game. And let's see how that plays out in this game. We're going to be having Vulture drop, revenging here on Royo's 2nd base. Looks like a huge push in the middle. A couple of tanks are here to guard it for Royo. He will not be able to hold his position. These Vultures actually driving the rest of the tanks back. The Vulture's going to try to go inside the main. These tanks from Barracks are pushed back. He's going to recreate his siege position right here to split the map in half. And he's, trying to contain Royo and make sure that the 230 position cannot get taken. Actually doesn't know about the position just yet. He can actually go there. There's some drop in the main. I think there's going to be another drop at the 3rd base as well. It looks like Royo is scrambling here. He's losing several forces to this kind of ragtag harassment squad. But at the last minute he's going to be able to clear up. And Royo, remember, he's still ahead in supply. He's still ahead in supply, and he's still ahead in bases. He's got how many bases? He's got 4, and he's going to have his 5th one coming up. Unless that choke that Barracks is trying to create at the 230 position can actually work here. Anyways, in the last minute, everything's gonna get clear out, and finally Barracks will take his 4th base. He has not been mining that 4th base for a long time. SME is getting transferred towards the side now. Yeah, it looks like Roy is able to clear this, and he's able to actually get his 5th base up. So despite all of that efforts, it's still very, very hard for Barracks to win. He's going to try to attack with his +2 weapons and +1 armor. Royo temporarily has got only a single upgrade. It's going to be +1 weapons only. And if there's going to be a battle now, Barracks might win. But suddenly we have +2 coming up online for Royo. He's going to have... Okay, it looks like somebody have what here? +2 weapons and +1. I'm not so sure who's got that, but I remember that Roy's got only +2 weapons for some time. So anyways, Barracks gonna try to create another pyramid. He actually need to create another base. Looks like Roy decided to push in the middle. That's gonna be a mistake. He just no, he's gonna try to push anyway, and that's clearly a mistake because look at the reinforcement from the left side. This is a blunder. This is so terrible. He was actually able to explode some of the tanks on the right side, but there's a lot of tanks on the left side, and this position is completely lost. You can see that Roy's supply lead is no longer that high anymore. He's bleeding a lot of tanks in the process. We have science vessels duking it out on each other. At the last minute, both the players going to turn and retreat to their own respective quarters, and that is what we see. Very, very sad reality here. War is a sad, sad reality. and losing or winning, you are just going to be prisoners of this great tragedy that is going to be called human conflicts. So I never hope that we have another war again in this world, just like we had in Israel and Ukraine. What else? I don't know. Even online, sometimes we have kind of corporations fighting each other, and hack attacks and so forth. Anyways, dropship, double dropship from Barracks gonna try to do something here. Dropships on dropships everywhere. These double dropships gonna be to destroy that turrets, I think. He will need to save his own dropship, and indeed that dropship is gonna get saved. Barracks going to be able to clear out these forces, and we're going to be having the tanks reinforcing from the other side of the map. Royo is still ahead in supplies, so he's going to be able to to clear out this drop without any kind of problems, but he's lost a lot of SCVs in the process, and Barracks is catching up in supply. Of course, Barracks is still behind in bases, but he's not that far behind, and it all comes down to execution and how you control your army in the mid game. For the time being, looks like finally Barracks gonna try to take his fifth base. He's behind in that respect, and Royo is gonna try to contend. I mean, now it's gonna be the time for Royo to actually think about the bottom left. You need to start to think about stopping any kind of bases from going up, because if those bases go up, then of course his advantage is going to get notified. He's going to try to reinforce his siege position here. Of course, a single tank will not work, but you need more tank. And the fact that Barracks has lost a lot of dropships time and time again just to execute his drops means that he would not have enough dropship to actually go for a major push in the mid game. You need that. Anyways, he's going to try to decide to go by ground here. He's got a floating Barracks to see the situation. One tank is slowing that advancement of the army. Looks like from the left side, bottom left, Royo is reinforcing. He's reinforcing from the bottom right, but the siege position from Barracks has already been established, so these reinforcing tanks from Royo cannot do much. It is going to be just a small trade. This trade will not make any kind of a difference. We're going to be having a command center landing at the bottom left. Curiously enough, I think that's going to be command center. And completely skip the 8:30 position and go directly to the 7 o'clock. We'll be having a science vessel doing some magical work on the tanks here. We are at the 17-minute mark of the game. Royo's got 190 supply, Barracks got 176. Royo is in the lead with 5 bases. Barracks, we need to decide what to do. He's going to try to attack. He's got D-Matrix tank. He's going to try to attack these group of tanks. Only 3 tanks and a couple of Goliaths. Not enough to stop this, and looks like Barracks going to be able to win this position. He's going to be able to actually threaten this other base. He's going to try to land what he had. Very few forces for Royo decided to evacuate those 2 tanks in those areas. I'm not so sure exactly what, and this base is going to be under siege here. There's going to be no way for Royo to save this. What is going to be his response? He's gone for 4 dropship on the left side. He's going to try to go to his base, and there are few defenses. He actually can land a single tank and then go inside the main, and he can actually take out 2 or 3 bases with the same move. He's going to try to do this. He's going to land maybe a single vultures here to force the SCV to run around. No, he's landing everything here, and that's a mistake. I actually don't like this move. He needed to land something on the high ground. But I think this attack isn't so bad, because you know what? This attack forces the cancellation of that other command center as well. So by attacking the 10 position, Royo is also stopping Barracks from expanding towards the bottom right. He can never expand towards the bottom right unless he clear out this siege position first. And he's gonna try to do that. He's gonna try to drop all of the tanks. There's gonna be a double Goliath waiting in the area, but 2 Goliaths is still very strong. And 4 dropship is not a good idea to go against 2 Goliaths. Anyways, looks like Roy is gonna try to reinforce it from more from the side. And he's still ahead in supply. He's lost a base, but he's also taken out one of his enemy's bases. Now, what can Barracks do? If he can actually try to get a position at the top right, and over time hold it, maybe the low ground, not the high ground, is going to be slightly advantages for him. We shall see. Anyways, looks like Barracks gonna try to come in the middle with more forces and more tanks, and Royo is also patrolling the nearby areas of this dropship. We're not seeing it on screen just yet. So like we might have a major battle happening here. The tanks are gonna try to pick the battle station here. He's gonna try to pick the side where there are only 4 tanks remaining. He's pushing forward. You need to just completely skip the bottom left. He actually doesn't need to go there. It's gonna be these 5 tanks choking, blocking Barracks supply route here, resupply route rather. Anyways, looks like Barracks gonna try to move slowly by ground. Is gonna try to take some of these tanks out, and there are only 2 tanks remaining, but there are still a lot of dropships in the air. Need to siege now. Who sieges first? It is gonna be Barracks who siege first, but he get exploding tanks first. His tanks were exploding into pieces, and looks like Royo is possibly gonna be winning this game, because look at this, the game situation. We have 4 bases for Royo, and the 5th one gonna come up. Barracks has got 3, but he's got cut off in the middle of the map. He cannot reinforce correctly. He can only reinforce by air. He's gonna try to do that. He's building double command center at the top right and trying to hold it with just his dropship. He's gonna say, you know what? Let me attack you, and I hope that by attacking you, I will stop you from attacking me. This is what he's doing, because actually Royo is going to be taking the bottom left with his own version of the command centers as well. More forces moving out on the various side. We still have a single Goliath here. The single Goliath can still do some damage, so we shall see what happens. A lot of drops is going to get pushed back. Yeah, as you can see, Barracks is limited to just moving by ground. He cannot move by air. He cannot move by air, but we're going to be having a drop here. That drop is going to go inside the main, and this is going to be a critical moment here. Looks like reinforcement is not yet. The dropships are returning at the last minute. Oh my god, this is a game-changing decision. Oh, what? How many Goliaths in the group? That's going to be the key question. Only 2 Goliaths. That means, you know, Royo fleet can actually land on top of the Goliaths. Going to try, but 3 Goliaths going to try to snipe at the dropship. How many dropships get sniped? Looks like some dropships. Oh my god, every single dropship gets sniped, and this position is still available for Barracks. He's going to be able to bleed out his enemy a lot, and he's keeping all of the dropship in the process, and he's going to be burning out a lot of factories. Royo's supply is plummeted, but of course he's still leading a supply, and we're going to be having the last of the tanks getting destroyed here. A lot of burning buildings for both the players. I guess mainly for Royo's, his barracks, excuse me, his factories are burning, but at the last minute it looks like Barracks is going to try to come back with the rest of his dropship here. All of the dropships by Royo were destroyed. Remember that. All of his dropship were destroyed. This left side is going to be able to actually have some mining now. So what can Barracks do? Actually have the advantage now in terms of mobility. He needs to strike the bottom left now and try to pray to God that Royo does not have the dropship needed to actually go towards the top right, because these guys are going to be going for base rate, and we're going to be having dropships flying around. Of course, scanners. Everyone has scanners now, so that they know exactly where the other guy's located. We are going to be having a small attack across this map. He's going to try to destroy some of the mine. Oh my god, that was a terrible mine explosion, but he's going to be actually destroying some of the turrets here. I'm going to be having landing, and Barracks GG. Royo wins this game. The score started up 1-1. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.